One of the questions that I get asked the most in regards to watches is, what is your favorite brand? And this used to be an easy answer for me. A few years ago, I would have come back straight away and said Seiko. And although I still love Seiko, I think they're a fantastic brand and have fantastic watches, I don't actually consider them to be my favorite brand anymore. In fact, I've struggled to answer that question over the last few years, because when I get watches from certain brands and I think, wow, this is fantastic, I love it, maybe this is my new favorite brand, I then come to realize that, well, it's not so much the brand, it's that one watch or a couple of watches from the brand. But now that I've just bought a watch from a brand called Wise, a micro brand from Thailand, a watch that is so good that has forced me to sort of go straight back to the website and consider the other watches that they have on offer. And I already know that I'm definitely going to be buying more from this brand, although I'm going to wait a little while because I just want to appreciate the one that I have right now. But I like so many of them, and I like this one so much, that perhaps my favorite brand of watches might actually end up being Wise watches. Hello, you're watching James. My name's James. You're watching me. And I am talking about watches, and I knew for a fact that I was going to be buying a watch from Wise Watches. And I knew that because, well, I like their design language, and I have to admit, I watch all the videos that are about these watches, and everybody has a very positive opinion about them. And they all say similar things, that they are very good looking watches, that they are well made watches, and they are generally affordable. Well, achievably priced, if not affordable. So I knew I was going to buy one, and I knew I was going to buy one because I just liked the look of them so much. But as I was trying to figure out which of their watches I was going to buy, as I was trying to pick which one of so many that I liked that I wanted to buy, I saw that they had a pre-launch of a new watch, the Wise Asura. This one right here, and this one spoke to me. It grabbed my attention and made me just want to own it. In fact, I came back to the website so many times looking at this watch that I just knew I had to take the plunge and make this Wise Asura my first watch from Wise. Now, I did reach out to Wise talking about this new release, and they were very nice to offer me a small discount. I did pay for the majority of this watch, but because I got a small discount, I have put that sponsored icon pop up there, and I'm just going to leave some links just directly to their website if you want to see this watch or any of their others in a little bit more detail. But today, this is just a first impressions video of this Wise Asura. But it's going to probably be a longer first impressions video than I normally do because there's so much to show you. But let's flick around the camera right now and let me show you why this is going to be such a long video. Now, normally I wouldn't spend too much time on the packaging or even prioritize the packaging because I don't buy watches for the packaging. However, in this case, the packaging is so good that I just need to spend a little bit of time on it. But what I'll do, as I show you this incredible packaging, I will try to read some stuff out to you, because this watch at the moment, if you're going to buy it, it costs 990 USD, and they are still on pre-order from what I'm understanding. Mine I ordered and it took 4 months for it to arrive. And when it arrived just like this. Isn't that so cool? The Wise Asura, or the Asura Wise. Yes, that's right. It is a proper leather bound type book, and it looks just like a book. So let me keep showing you the packaging as I read out some more stuff. This watch is 904 stainless steel. It has 100 meters of water resistance. It's powered by a Sellita SW261. It comes with 1 year warranty, sapphire crystal. What else we've got? Dome sapphire crystal. I'm running out of things to say while I'll still show you everything that's in here, but there's bits and pieces. You got spare spring bars, you got a rubber strap, it comes on a leather strap, and of course, it comes with a beautiful, beautiful watch. And when this beautiful watch did arrive, there were 7 things that stood out to me. I think there's actually probably more than 7, but I've written down 7 for this list to talk about today. But today I'm actually going to talk a little bit beyond my first impressions, because there aren't actually that many videos of this watch out there. So I'm going to step further a little bit, show you a little bit more, and even give you some dimensions, which I don't normally do in first impressions videos. But if you are considering one of these and pre-ordering one of these, well, more information you have, the better, which is why I'm going to go a little bit beyond with this first impression. But I will still, of course, come back to this one in a couple of months and do a proper in-depth review. But the first of those 7 things was that packaging. The second thing is this red color dial. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's not showing up very well in the studio light, so I'll show you some outdoor footage of this one. This comes in this red, or this ox blood red, but also a grey version, and I almost chose the grey, but I decided actually there's something about this deep red that I absolutely like, and I'm so glad that I did, because yeah, it absolutely speaks to me. And the next thing, when you look deeper at that red, is the details on that dial there. Textures, the different layers, but also if you look closely, you'll see obviously there's some numbers, but look at the little other markers there. It almost looks like a brushed silver on top of them, but then there's a tiny little bit of red inside them too. There's some details and thought put into this watch that absolutely blow my mind. And I have to mention the hands, and they absolutely stood out to me as number 4, because I think they might be the best hands I've ever seen on a watch, because this watch I think would look good with almost any sort of hands. I think they could have chosen quite a few different handsets and it would look good. But it's the handset that really makes this watch great for me. I absolutely adore them. They're polished. They have a center pillion sort of cover there, which is nice. It has this lovely pointed shape. They've got lume in them, so it feels a little bit more sporty, takes it away from the slightly dressy element that this watch has. But it's the shape of them, how they play with the light, and I just love them. The shape of the case also stood out to me, because look at the sweeping shape of those lugs. They sort of go down and in and sort of tuck in and turn around. Sort of a twisted lug design, which I really do like. And it plays with the light really nicely too, because there's some brushing on the sides, there's that sweeping polished edge there, some polish around that stainless steel bezel too, the 904 stainless steel bezel, which I have to admit, I think that's going to be an interesting thing to have in my collection, a different stainless steel. However, I haven't really noticed any differences. Is the color slightly different? I don't know. Apparently it's a little bit more hard wearing, so that's positive, but I haven't really noticed any real differences with just having a different stainless steel. The strap is an absolute standout too. This is that sort of crazy horse leather. It feels almost like velvet on the top. Really lovely. Incredible hardware that's obviously sort of designed for this watch, because it really suits the design. But I haven't actually been wearing it on this strap. It's not because I don't like it, I think it's gorgeous, but at the moment where I currently live, it's very hot and sweaty, so I've actually been wearing it on the rubber strap that comes with it. I'm actually not normally a rubber strap person, but this is probably the best rubber strap I've experienced. Plus at the moment, it really suits me wearing this watch because of that hot, sweaty outdoors, and it's nice that they've also got integration into that case. The only thing that really stood out to me that was a slight disappointment, and I think disappointment might be taken a little bit too far, is the case back. Obviously, nice open window there, so you can see that Salida movement with that custom rotor. It's actually very nice, very nicely finished, but there's just so many positives and so much detail on the front of this watch, on the dial of this watch, on the case of this watch, on the packaging of this watch with such good straps, that it feels like this doesn't actually quite live up to the rest of the watch. It's fine, but I'm surprised that there aren't some details on here that then tie a little bit more into all these incredible details on the front side of the watch. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I was just really hoping that if you have not already done so, would you mind just hitting that subscribe button? It honestly makes such a huge difference to me and this channel. Thanks for that. Let's get back to this watch. Now this watch does wear very nicely on wrist, partly and mostly because of those dimensions, which I'm going to show you quickly in this video, which I wouldn't normally do in a first impressions video. But let me just show you on the leather strap. Shows you how it sort of sits down nicely. I've actually only worn it on this strap about 4 times so far, and you can see how nice it's already sort of fit to my 17cm wrist. Both straps come with quick release spring bars, so it's nice and easy to swap them between the two. And how nice does it look to have that integrated rubber strap? Nice details on the strap. It's even got the name written on the keepers there. Same buckle and tang there, which is probably the best buckle and tang I've ever come across. Details in the lining. Nice, interesting underneath. Nice and supple as well. But I'm wearing it mostly on this because of the weather that I currently am experiencing in Australia. Definitely super comfortable on that rubber strap too. No complaints about comfort with this one. So let's talk dimensions quickly. It's a 40mm case, 12.3mm thick, a lug to lug of 46.9, and a lug width of 20mm. Now again, I don't normally do lume in these first impressions videos, but because there aren't many of them out there about this specific watch, I just want to do a little bit extra. Now, apparently Wise is known for their amazing loom, and I can certainly say, even though this is a more of a dressy piece, which you wouldn't expect to have too much loom, the loom that it is displaying as it is showing right now is particularly good. Now, I did buy this one very specifically to keep in my collection long term, so that is my plan. And as always, with watches that are sticking around longer, I like to keep them on wrist for at least a month or two, if not even a little bit more, before circling back to do a full in-depth review. So keep your eyes out for that in a couple of months, where I will be diving much deeper into this one. But whilst we wait for that video, maybe check out these two next.